Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're talking with Justin Lobaugh and Reed Osbrink about their company StrongStraw. They make reusable glass straws just like this one, and they're pretty cool. We're going to learn a lot from them about entrepreneurship and how to develop a product-based business and get to hear the story of their company. So I'm really excited to share this with you. Be sure to check out StrongStraw down below. Check out their website, go follow Reed and Justin on Instagram, and with that, we'll jump right into the video. Enjoy. So, Reed and Justin, thank you so much for being here on the show. Today we're going to talk about their company StrongStraw. Very excited. So to start off, just want to ask you a little bit about the story of StrongStraw. Where did the idea come from? And then mostly, how did you turn that idea into a business?
Okay, yeah. So the idea really started back last summer. It happened when I was taking a summer chemistry class. And in the chemistry class, we were tasked with making glass pipettes, so little eyedroppers. So in the class, we scored the glass. We were working with glass tubes, scored the glass, tore the glass, and then would fire polish. So that's where I really gained the skills for making the straws. And after we were done making the glass pipettes, which are 2 inches long, we had all this leftover glass. So we were instructed to throw it away. But before we did that, I kind of snuck away and made a straw because it just seemed cool. I mean, I've always kind of been that creative person, and so I just wanted to make a straw. So I did that, brought it home to my family, and used it for dinner that night.
Yeah.
And kind of showed it off, hey, look what I made. And that is where it started. So after that, I mean, I just kind of started going back to the stock room and getting more glass tubing. And the guy would be like, why do you need this glass tubing? I'm like, don't worry about it, it's for chemistry. And that's how that's really where the idea came from. And once I got on board to making glass straws in my backyard, it was really when I became aware of the no plastic movement, the movement away from single-use plastics. So it's just kind of been a journey since then.
And Justin, the man who can sell ice to an Eskimo, the big sales guy. How did your guys' business relationship start?
Oh, okay. I remember this phone call. So I was in Indiana at a gas station, just gotten out of a dish deal because I would knock doors for Dish Network, and get a call. I had a missed call from Reed, so I called him back, and I just hopped in my car, and I was chilling out there. He's like, dude, I have this idea. He's like, I made a couple of these glass straws, and you know how California's starting to ban plastic ones? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, figured out how to make them, and I want to start doing that. And I was like, dude, that's a great idea. That's awesome. I'm here if you need any help. And then that was it. That was all we talked about for 2 months. That was the only conversation. I thought it was an idea that just kind of was and then things moved on. But yeah, come back. He's back in school, and we're both in Boise. And he was like, dude, so StrongStraw has been taking off. Here's our website, business cards. We're in over here. We're doing this. And I was like, do you really? Okay, all right, let's go. So it was awesome. Yeah.
But so after that phone call, Justin, when he was like, yeah, that's really cool. That sounds like a great idea. I was calling him because I had no experience with this. I mean, I was always I'd be fun, creative. I can make things, but I didn't know how to pitch it to anyone. I didn't know how to sell it to anyone. So I would be making these straws. I would put them in a regular drinking glass with a business card and a pamphlet, and I'd go into a restaurant, and I'd say, hey, this is an alternative. Think about switching, right?
Yeah.
But to get to that point was probably hours talking to Justin, Justin, how do I do that? How do I start a conversation? How do I, go up to somebody and sell them a product? So it was kind of nice having all that background knowledge, because then he was just like, here it is. This is
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. And what are some of the biggest challenges you face as a company, maybe as individuals, trying to balance college and being an entrepreneur?
I would say the biggest challenge for me is being told no, because I like to be to be set up in a way where I have everything planned. I have everything thought of. market it. You know, I come in to a pitch, let's say, with I think all the information that I need, and walk in, and then just to be told no, that they don't want your product, that what you've been working on or what you've been personally making for the last 6 months, that they just don't want it, or that they don't like it, or they don't support it. It's really discouraging. And I think now, especially hanging out with Justin, like you realize that you just have to let that bounce off you. And so I don't know. I've gone to restaurants, like we talked about before, is going into the restaurant market. It really hasn't hit off, hasn't taken off. We haven't got a lot of interest. But what that entails is Justin and I going into restaurants, like probably 20, 30, 40 restaurants, handing them samples, handing them a business card, and following up afterwards. And every single restaurant has either not responded or said no. So it's just discouraging. And when I was just starting out, I was calling glass manufacturers because I was trying to get it mass produced, and every single manufacturer told me on the phone, no, we're not going to produce this glass straw. So it's hard. It's hard getting back up and having to tell yourself, no, this is a really good idea. Like this can go farther. You just haven't found the right person yet. And that's just the way it sort of worked out, is that we've kept with it, and now there's somebody producing our straws, and they love it. They think this is a great idea. You know, now Lemon Trees thinks that it's a great idea that they're going to feature our straws in their restaurant. So it's just like that no has been so hard to get back up and then keep grinding. There's so many times when I'm about to walk into a restaurant after 5 restaurants walking into them all saying no, or saying get out, that's a terrible idea. That's happened before. So having to walk into another one and talk to another GM, on the verge of tears because you're like, man, just take my straws. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard, but just sticking with it has been the thing that I've kind of learned. Yeah.
What inspires you to really stick with it? Is there something that does that for you? Is it just a mindset of keep grinding, knowing someday maybe something will work out?
Yeah. So right now there are we have competition. We have Simply Straws. We have a couple other glass straw people that are direct competition.
You have to say their name on the.
Oh, okay.
Don't look that one up. No.
There's a couple copycats of StrongStraw, and they're doing okay. So my parents just went into a Trader Joe's, and there you can buy glass straws.
Oh, okay.
So it's that sort of reassurance and that competitiveness within me, kind of in the back of my head saying, this is a good idea. They can do it, and you work hard. You know, I work hard. There's no difference between me and them.
Yeah.
If they're successful, why can't I be successful?
Absolutely.
I can work hard. I can grind. I can talk to Justin. We can do things. We're gonna make a website. We're doing all this stuff. What are they putting in that we can't? You know, what do they have that we don't? So I think it's that sort of thing that really inspires me when I see someone else being successful, or someone says, "Oh, bummer, Reed. Sorry, I saw these straws in this store. That's your product, sold by a different company. That's a bummer. Sorry." It's no, are you kidding me? Their straws are double the price that I sell my straws are, and they're in a retail store and people are buying them.
Right.
It's just kind of more motivation. Yeah.
Would you say that's your biggest, with your competitors, your biggest competitive advantage? Is that your price? Is there a difference between the glass and how it's manufactured?
You want to talk about the logo?
Oh yeah, that's it. I mean, that nail in the coffin. I mean, not only is the price better, and I mean the quality and who you're buying it from, and I mean all of it's amazing. But just being able to do logos and custom straws. I mean, there's nobody on the market. There's a few people that do different colored glass straws, which I mean obviously we do as well. But it's just, I mean, we can put things on them now, and so. If you want a saying, if you want your name, if you just want your company's logo on the straw to give out to your employees to show not only are you more sustainable, but it's just free advertising for you because everybody's going to use their glass straws because they're dope. And then having your logo on the side as all of your employees are running around, it's really cool. So yeah, it works.
the nail right on the head.
Yeah.
But yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say like with that being the biggest challenge, like hearing no. I mean, yeah, we've probably been to 20 to 40 restaurants, and I couldn't list more than 5 that told us no. But I mean, here like Lemon Tree, it's like it's in there. So hearing the yeses and like the people that we've talked to, and iChina or stores in Utah, people that like are avidly like loving our straws and Weena, like all these people. It's like the yeses stick around, and then the no's like it sucks for 5 minutes in the moment, but then
and then it's gone.
it's gone.
And then like I think one of the other big motivators of the thing that like is really cool is then going into a restaurant or like into a coffee shop and seeing your straws on the shelf. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, first paycheck was from Goldie's.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
yeah, exactly.
$2. It was great.
Oh, that's great. And as far as entrepreneurship goes, for both of you, do you think it was an idea that came first that sparked your interest to become an entrepreneur? Or did you always feel like you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Maybe when you were a kid, did you dream about starting your own business?
Oh, that's a question for me? Oh.
Yeah.
For both of you.
Riding along the coattails, man. I'm just kidding. I just like success. I feel like, I don't know, I can't really say I care what that is, but just having something put together that, it's like, I don't know, you build your own house with your bare hands, you're like, damn, I just built my own house, so
Yeah.
it's like, it's kind of like that, I guess, I don't know, that's my idea. But, like you said, this is your company.
Don't think I could be doing this without you. Don't you think that? I remember specifically walking dogs at an animal hospital.
Okay.
And I would clock in, and I would be like, we're getting stuff done. We're getting, there's laundry that needs to be done. There, we can clean, here's all the ways that this animal hospital can be more efficient. And I would be going, and I'd see my coworker walking his dog for 15, 20 minutes on his phone. And that, it didn't affect me at all, but it irked me, because that's just not how I operate. And I always want to be doing the best. I want to be putting in more effort. I don't just want to clock in and clock out. I want to actually make something. I want to go to work one day and go next day and then build on that. Yeah. I just don't want to start clean from like a clean slate, because then it's just, I feel like you're wasting your time. You're not building on anything. So when I came to college, I realized that I wasn't the only one that felt like that, because I met this guy. He was on my floor,
Good time.
and I remember this specific thing that we went to. There was a CEO meet and greet at the top of the Stugel Center.
Yeah.
And Justin and I had been talking and like just messing around, and we'd be like, hey, we see a market gap, and we can fill that market gap with the t-shirt business. So it was going to be a logo t-shirt business. We went so hard. We went. We didn't have any expertise in this. We were just two passionate people. We went on the Photoshop on like the library. In the sub, and
Adobe Illustrator. We would just take pictures and try to trace them, and AF, man. AF.
It's AF. It's gonna be Boise AF.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like San Francisco AF, and we were gonna market. We had a marketing strategy. We had all this just kind of laid out, and we went into the top of the Stugel Center, which is like the football arena where all the big wigs hang out, and there were CFOs and CEOs. I just felt so at home because I was with this guy. We already had an idea. We were like two go-getters, and we were in a room full of go-getters, and that's kind of when I realized I was like, this is where I want to be. Like, this is who I want to be with. Yeah.
It was fun.
That's
In
great.
that arena of people.
Yeah, I love that just idea of the creativity and freedom you can harness with entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you really highlight. And that's
Yeah.
really important.
Yeah, and it definitely takes a certain person to go out there and just like grind.
It's that guy.
It's that guy.
No.
It's that guy right there.
Do what I'm told. This guy has great ideas. Just comes, it's crazy. Easiest person to follow.
That's so cool.
Not at all. Yeah.
So for an entrepreneur who's maybe just starting out, maybe they have an idea, maybe they just met a couple CEOs and felt at home. What advice would you send their way?
You want me to take this?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. I would say like have an idea that you're passionate about. Like I feel like I don't know. I think the T-shirt business kind of came to a halt because it wasn't like didn't like pull on anything. It wasn't like too. It was just like, hey, here's an idea, and then it was like, oh, okay, I don't really care about it that much, but to like keep going and keep going through all this stuff. But so I'd say like an idea that makes you think like, okay, this is worth going for sure. It's like, okay, we can do something big, and like this is great. So like when you come up with thousands of ideas, follow that one, and then but at the same time, like there's like a quote. I'm gonna butcher it, but that's okay. It's like you don't get motivated and then go to work. You go to work and then be motivated and then keep going. So it's like just like start grinding and then you're gonna get excited.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that would be it.
Like you don't end up the same place you started.
Yeah,
Is that?
basically, yeah, and just feeling like if you like wake up one morning and you're like, oh man, I don't really want to do this. Like, I'll just wait till tomorrow when I'm motivated to clean my room or make my bed, whatever it is. Like, as soon as you start like picking up things off the floor and stuff, then you're like, oh, okay, this isn't that bad, and then you just keep going. So
Yeah.
just that's it. So even if your idea isn't like, oh my god, I want to do this every single day for the rest of my life, you just start doing it. You'll love it later.
Yeah. No, I think it's very true. It seems like you both have really developed a passion. I was talking to Reed earlier about different types of glass. And, you probably never would have been passionate about glass had you not started the straw company. So it's really cool to see that passion develop and turn into something really special.
Yeah.
How about a favorite book, perhaps? This is one of my favorite questions to ask people. That's either shaped how you go through your own life personally or a business book that's really influenced you, either or.
Oh, no, again? I'm just kidding. 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. That was a big one. And, yeah, just all around. Like, I mean, the first couple lines, the first, like, whole chapter was something my grandma always told me, like, stand up with your shoulders back and, like, keep your back straight and go. And I was like, oh, dang, okay, so I already love this book. And then, yeah, I listened to it, like, in a day. It was crazy, just on the whole drive. It was a lot of fun. That's a really good book. So, recommend that.
Great. That's awesome.
Well, so how can our viewers check out your straws? I think we're going to have a link in the description to all this, but what is the best way for people to check you out?
www.strongstraw.com. That's one way. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. You can DM us. You can slide into the DMs. You can go, hopefully find them on Amazon soon.
Okay.
But yeah, StrongStraw.com is where you can order yours today.
Excellent. Yeah, and we'll put all that information down at the bottom. Go follow both of these guys. They're awesome. You'll learn a lot. And check out StrongStraw. So thank you so much for being here.
That was great.
Really
Of course.
appreciate it.